Good morning, creator. Hello, this is Robin with Odessa Rose Creates, and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to do a Chalk Couture project using a Chalk Couture surface, some paint, of course a transfer and some chalk paste, and I'm just going to try and show you how I like to change up the surface first, because you can always just chalk on any surface, but I think it's something we need to think about, which is the negative space, which is the background of our design. So I like to put a little texture and character into the background so that my projects stand out and not just put on a chalk transfer and be done. Which sometimes that's all you really need. Like yesterday I did the green chalkboard with just simple white paste, and it's quick, it's simple, but I wanted it to be simple because it represented a green chalkboard and wasn't necessarily art. It was just a chalkboard. So let's just get started and we'll see how it goes. I just kind of have a plan in my head, and sometimes it doesn't always turn out how I think it's going to turn out, or it surprises me and turns out even better than what I thought, or it could be worse. Who knows? But we're going to find out. So let me check and make sure you can see me okay. So say hello, and if you like to craft and create and you want to show your friends this new craft, it's not really new, we're almost 3 years old, 3 to 4 years old, so it's a pretty new crafting technique and so much fun. So share or hit that arrow button if you want to have your friends see it. Alright, I'm going to flip my iPad over and set it right up here so I can see any comments you might have. And we are going to work with this transfer today. It was always you, but we got to get our surface ready first before we even think to chalk. So I'm going to go back and use our pallet board, the diagonal one. I love this board. I just kind of started working with them. Probably because they lowered the price on them. They're 12 by 18 in size, but they lowered the price, and for the quality, it's an excellent price. They retail for $17.99, and you know, you can't find this quality in the craft stores. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. I just love it. So the boards are diagonal. They kind of have a gray wash to them. But we're going to make it more of a worn black background. We'll do some sanding with it, and then we're going to add just pops of kind of a tone on tone. I'm kind of maybe even going to do this black on top of the black, just to, or I don't know, I haven't quite decided, but I want just like spots of this around. I don't want it fully covered in the pattern, but just kind of a worn look that it's going to have a little bit of this patterning in the background, but almost tone on tone. So we'll see what that looks like. I don't know. It's just something I just try and see how it turns out. If you don't like it, sand it down or just paint over it. It's always my theory. So I'm going to get some cardboard out so I don't get paint on my desk. And I have my 1-inch paintbrush I'm going to use, and I'm going to use some Fusion Mineral paint in coal black. You can use any black paint. I just like this paint because it has a primer, paint, and sealer all in one, and it's just great to work with. So I'm going to wet it because I'm not going to do it in a solid color. I'm going to kind of whitewash it on. So I like to use a wet brush for that. So I'm just dipping it in some water. And get my towel here. And then I don't have much of this paint left, so but this paint goes a long ways. So I'm just going to brush it in. And I'd kind of like to have some off-white in it too, like as if it was layered, as if black was layered over off-white instead of the gray, but we'll see. One thing about this diagonal, I feel like you have to paint diagonally on it to go with the boards. But I don't think you have to, but and even if I don't get all the way to the edges, that's okay because I'm probably just going to rough up the edges anyway. So Chalk Couture just put out a video using that transfer, so I'll need to try to share that so y'all can see that if you haven't seen it already. I'm trying to think what surface they put it on. I think it was just a blackboard, just a chalkboard. Okay. Now I should do the set this on some jars of paste so I can raise it up. And I'll be able to pick it up easier when the edges are wet. I'm just going to get my brush strokes going in the direction of the boards. Just painting the edges, and then I'm going to bring in some, maybe a little bit of brown or something, I don't know, some other colors. I still haven't come up with another idea for my bandana series. I've been racking my brain trying to think of something cool. But it's not happening. So I decided to do this piece. I have quite a few new transfers I haven't used yet, so I'm just trying to come up with creative ways to use them. Okay, so it's just kind of a light coat, nothing perfect. I just kind of want it. All right, kind of wish I had some off-white, but I think all my off-white is in my fusion paint. What can I grab? Maybe even some mustard. Hi, Julie. I'll be at ChalkCon. Yay! It's gonna be fun, right? Oh, I hope we get to have it. So many summer activities are already canceling, and I just wonder. This is kind of a mustard color. I don't know. I kind of just want a little bit of it in there. I kind of wanted off-white, but I think this, or a creamy color, but this is kind of going to work, I think. Because it's just a hint of it. Get some highs and lows in the coloring. So it's Memorial Day weekend. Anybody got any big plans? Friday, well, on Monday is Vivian, my granddaughter's birthday. She turned 6. So we're kind of having a little get together Friday night. I can't remember why, but Friday night. Saturday we have to go over to Avery's house, and they're putting in a concrete slab in the backyard. So he needed some help with that. And I think Blair and Avery and I are going to put some wallpaper in Chase's bedroom. Yes, wallpaper is making a huge comeback. But this is a peel and stick wallpaper. So I've never done a peel and stick wallpaper, but I've done a lot of wallpapering back in the day. It's kind of fun if it works out good. It's fun. Kind of liking that highlights of the mustard in there. Kind of is giving it a creamy look. I might just do a little bit more of it. I can't believe it's already here. So crazy. We're going out on the lake. Great. You have a lake nearby you? We grew up, my kids grew up when we lived in Centerville. We have one of Iowa's largest lake is near there. And we had a boat when the kids were young, and that was fun. But then it got to be so busy that we weren't going out there much. And it seemed like when the weather was nice, John was working. Or when the weather was not nice, we were free to go out, but we couldn't get out on the lake because the weather was bad. So we ended up selling the boat, and the kids grew up and moved on. Alright, this is really wet right now, so I'm going to have to let that dry. Brush it one more time around. A lot of stories on the boat. Stories and memories. Let's see. Let me just dry that a little bit and let's see what it looks like. We have the second largest freshwater lake, Lake Pendarel. It's so deep, they test submarines. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy. We have to dry this, it's just a little too wet. So I like how I brushed on the diagonal with the boards. You can still see the texture of the diagonal. So that's good. As I look at the camera. I brush back out of the water, but I'm going to make it not so wet, so I got to kind of wring out the water in it. That was almost too wet. Good morning, Karen. What paint I'm Amy. I'm using Fusion Mineral Paint, of course, in coal black, but I'm mixing it in. I'm watering it down a little bit, and I have mixed in a little bit of mustard color in it to kind of, I don't know what I'm doing. I just like to do it, kind of give it some. You ever seen like antique floral prints on black, and they kind of have a beige undertone? Kind of trying to mimic that. Call me crazy, but just gonna blend in a little bit more of the mustard, and then I'll probably go back over it with some black again, maybe. If you guys want Fusion Mineral Paint, Amy that's on here that commented about what paint are you using, she's the one that sells the mineral paint, Fusion Mineral Paint, out at the attic in Valley. And she could probably hook you up with some, although a lot of it's back ordered right now, or on order. That's where I picked up that green. I painted a board with that green yesterday, Amy. I don't know if you saw that. And I chalked on it. The good old days. These are the good old days. Okay, that's looking really cool now. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see what it looks like when it dries. Still kind of wet. Definitely got some highs and lows. It's kind of cool. I'm liking that. Yeah, I don't think it matters too much here. I'm going to sand down the sides and the edges when it gets dry here. And I kind of like that. Kind of liking it. Just make sure I have enough of it on. It's really like a worn black painted boards. Cool. Just getting my brush strokes nice and straight, parallel with the boards. Sometimes I'm always pleasantly surprised at how it turns out. But I think I'm done painting. I need to dry it and then sand the edges. And then we're going to put a little tone on tone. I think I'll do this in black in different spots. And then we'll lay our whole transfer over it. So, good morning, Tonda. We are painting a reclaimed diagonal pallet sign, one of Chalk Couture's. And this is the back side. The other day I used the back side and made that tray. So today we're actually going to do on the top side. Let's get this dry and then I can sand it. Good morning, Audra. How are you? This is a heat gun. Just kind of dries things a little bit faster, but you can't hold it still very long or it'll bubble up your paint. You don't want that. Too much heat. So, check out the texture of that now. Looks pretty cool. I didn't even get paint all the way up here on the edge because I wanted some of that gray to show through. Plus I'm going to be sanding it and roughing it up a little bit and hold it down a little bit so you can see it. So So kind of crazy how it turned out. I mean, it's not even done yet, but I'm liking it so far. So let's get some sandpaper and sand the edges. And I'm going to try to start out with the more coarse paper. I think I have some. And this is all I got right here. I guess this one is. Okay, so I'm just going to sand up the edges. The underside and outer corners here too. So it all looks worn. I even want the corners to be even more worn than normal, than what I would usually do. I'm going to bring it in. I'm in California where I can get that. Where can I get that paint? Go to fusionmineralpaint.com. And they have a store locator. But it's made in Canada, I believe. If Amy's still here, she can tell you. But there is a store locator or a dealer locator on their website. So it's Fusion, Fusion, mineral paint. A lot of people use it to repaint furniture and kitchen cabinets or whatever. Even front doors. Let's bring in some rough edges. Sometimes you don't want it too scratchy looking, but gotta clean out the dust. So I always just take a super damp paper towel, just barely mist on some water, and just enough to pick up the dust. to get rid of this dusty cardboard because last time I didn't, and then I got dust all over my chalk transfer, and ugh, it was kind of a mess. So, get rid of that. And we'll have a clean desk to work with. Somewhat clean. All right. Now, let's bring it back. So we went from this gray painted board, and now we're at this stage, but that's a little white. I'm going to tone that down a little bit with this distressed ink, so it looks more old and dirty. So I'm just going to brush in, rub in some brown ink in those spots so it doesn't look quite so white. Same with the edges. Okay. Sometimes I think if you just take the pad, you can get a lot more on there. Darkening those areas. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Where did you get the distress? This bigger pad I ordered through Amazon. At the craft stores, they sell like these little sets of them. There's like maybe, this one was silver, or well, gray, pumice stone they call it, barn door, there's a green one, peeled paint, and then there's a bluish one, which I can't see in my drawer. So this was like a set, and then there's another set that has this color in it, which is called walnut stain. So there's like, I think maybe 3 different sets of mini ones you can get. If you want the big one, at least Hobby Lobby didn't have the big one. But they have another, it's Tim Holtz is the company. And he has another type of ink that's worded differently. And I've never tried that kind. I can't remember what it's called. But that might work just as well. Big one I got on Amazon. Okay, so what I want to do, I just want to make sure that ink is dry. Tim Holtz, Holtz, I believe. He has a whole line of embellishments for like scrapbooking or card making, and kind of all antique-y looking. So like keys and little hardware pieces, and of course I think he has his own line of paper and stickers and things like that too. So alright, now I'm going to put some patterns on here, just kind of randomly. I know I want one up in this corner. I'll probably just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and just do like kind of like it's worn on there, or it's partly worn off. So that's why I'm not going to go all the way out to the edges. I'm just going to make it look kind of like a patch of it. And I'm going to do it in black. So So it's kind of a tone on tone. Yeah, lately people have had trouble hearing me. Maybe I'm mumbling too much or not talking loud enough, but I don't know. So I'm mixing in a little bit of water in my chalk paste just to get to the right consistency, like a soft yogurt. Could go even a little softer than that, to almost where it kind of wants to drip. So that's pretty good. This is a pattern that goes with our house cutouts. It's called house patterns. There's we have Chalk Couture has wood cutouts of houses. Well, these right here that I've done, but they have little patterns that fit perfectly on the houses. So this is one of them. But we're not going to do it in the house shape. We're just going to kind of do random patterns. I am going to put a little bit of fuzz on the back of it. Let me get my fuzzing cloth. Good morning, Kelly. Ooh, I just put my finger in the chalk paste. Not a good idea. All right. I got a lot of black on my hands, I think from the paint, because the chalk paste would come right off. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of fuzz on the back of this sticky transfer so it lifts up easy. I'm going to try to just do 4 random patterns, like patches of it, and just for kicks and giggles. Let me see. So I just kind of want to spread out like that. Just working on negative spacing in our surfaces. So thinking about the background of our design, how we can make it look different. That's almost too perfect, so I'm going to try to not be so perfect at it. Dry that, and then I'm going to lay it on and just kind of, so it doesn't look so rectangular on here, and kind of just bring out some areas so it doesn't look so rectangular-ish. So I come up with my own words. So it doesn't look so rectangular-ish. Oh goodness. Oh good, I'm glad you can hear me, Kelly. See the pat? You probably can't even really see it. That's why I like it. It's good, very subtle. Let's see if you can see it here. You see it? I gotta wait for the delay. So hold on. There, you can kind of see it. So I'm just gonna bring it out so it's not quite so like rectangles. I kind of want it a little bit more trailing of it. So let's see if I can accomplish that. The trick is lining up the patterns. Now that I can't see really, so this could be tricky. Maybe I'll just randomly. I think as long as it's parallel with it, it's not going to matter too much, because there's going to be, you know, words over it all. So I'm just going to do some hit and miss like that. There we go. I think that will be fine. Just barely see it. But it's there. Kind of looks like it got run over by a tire. Tire tracks. I'm going to lay this in my water. I'm going to need me a really good wipe. Dropped my towel. Distressed ink or distressed oxide. That's the other one. I've never tried the oxide, so I don't know. I don't know what the difference is between the two, but I should buy some to see if there's a difference. All right. All right, let's see if you can see it. Just ever so subtle. It's kind of cool. There. Okay, you can see it just kind of hanging out. Yeah, okay. Now we are done with the black, so I'm going to put the black chalk paste away, scraping down the sides of the jars and inside. It's really good to clean the outside too, but I like at least try to get the inside clean so the chalk paste doesn't dry and crust up on the inside rim of your jar. Throwing everything else in the water. And now we can pick out the colors we're going to use for our sentiment. It was always you. And these beautiful flowers on here. So now this is all kind of industrial, worn, vintage, masculine. Now we're going to put some feminine on it with the florals and the sentiment. It's going to be kind of cool. I'm thinking. I'm just going to dry this real quick again. And let's pick out our colors. I'm kind of thinking corals colors. I love like dreamsicle or guava. fruit. Like those 3 colors would be pretty. Probably need about, probably just 2 or 3 colors for the flowers. And I'm going to do the Sane in white, because I will put the special dark wax over it all to age it all a little bit, and that'll knock down that brightness of all the colors, but especially the white. It'll knock that down and make it look, you know, vintage. So, I'm getting low on white. I hope I have another jar of it somewhere. This one feels pretty empty too. That one's all dried up. So hopefully we'll have enough. If not, I'll just blend in some almond or something and make it look even more aged. That's fun. There's almond. In case I need it. Or we could just go almond anyway. And some green. We got our pesto, I think. We got the greens over here. Pesto and maybe the honeydew together. Give it some highs and lows on the leaves. Alright. Let's open them up. Make sure we're ready to go. Some of them need to stir. Some of them might need some water. One's dried out. Seems like I just used that. We'll go with sage. I don't always take the time to go through my paste and make sure they are nice and moist if I haven't been using them. So if you don't do that, they can dry hard as a rock. And especially when there's very little of it left. So, I always say, let that be a lesson. This one's seems kind of bright. Let's see if we might have to use our peachy keen. Peachy keen. It's kind of like you think it doesn't have much color, but once you put it on, it always seems to look really pretty. A very soft color. This one. Yeah, so I get these all out. I won't necessarily use them all. I'm just kind of figuring out what I want to do. Alright, chalk paste. If you're new to Chalk Couture, this is chalk paste. And that's what we squeegee over our silk transfers, which are reusable. They have a sticky adhesive background, a back side of them, so they stay in place on your surface while you're chalking or squeegeeing that chalk paste over it. We also have inks that, like I made this shirt. So you have inks that you can put on fabrics that you can heat set with the iron or easy press. And you could also use on glass, and some stoneware take it and you can heat that in the oven and it will become permanent. That's the Couture inks. Okay. have to get me some more white if I don't have a backup. I don't know if I do yet. Can't remember. I'll have to look. So we might have to throw in some almond with that for the lettering. Okay. Let's get a fuzzing cloth ready. So I'm going to fuzz the back of this transfer. It's brand new. I haven't used it yet. It's not overly sticky, so that's good. Probably be okay. It's just one-time fuzzing here. Try to avoid sticking it to itself. Okay, and I wanted it to go this way. This is my, let's see. Which way do I want it to be the top? It's not going to matter too much. They're kind of the same. Let's go this route. And of course, it fits perfectly on this board because they're both Chalk Couture products, and they designed these boards fit perfectly with this size of transfer. So you just want to rub it on, make sure there's no air pockets. And these are boards, so sometimes there's a slight difference of the levels. So you might have a little bit of pooling of paste in those areas, which I think makes it even look more cool. More vintage and handcrafted. So we're probably going to do some paste and peel. We'll do the floral, peel it up so the chalk paste doesn't dry the silk screen as we work on another element of the design. So let's just bring this area a little bit closer to me, and then we can put in some of our beautiful colors here. And we'll get started. We'll probably just use our multi-tool. Has the little mini squeegee, teeny tiny squeegee on the end to get in the small areas. So I'm going to do like the center, a little bit darker of the flower, and then bring lighter tones out to the outside edges of the flowers. Make these little buds darker even. Okay, we'll take another tool and bring in our greens. Blending in the dark shade and into the light shades. So we have some highs and lows on our leaves as well. There we go. Pull that corner up. Let's see how pretty that looks on the black. I'm going to dry it just a smidgen and I'm going to lay it back down. Okay, now let's do the big one down this corner, and then we'll do all the white in the middle. So, kind of the same idea. I'm going to do this color in the center. And bring out the lighter color edge. blending in dipping in all the colors, and just this little bit's not going to change your color in your jar that much. And our little buds here. Get our greens going. Kind of want to work quickly because you don't want the chalk paste drying on your flowers and sticking to your silk screen. So be kind of quick. I'm going to take just a mini and squeeze off the extra. Oops, I see I missed a tip of the leaf here. Okay. Lift that up. Looks pretty. Hit it to dry a little bit. Now we're ready for our white and almond wording. So I'm going to grab a small squeegee, bring over my almond and my white. I'm just going to kind of blend in the two colors. So they look kind of like old and stained, kind of like. I'm just going to bring it straight down and squeegee over all the lettering. I don't know why there's some spots of red up there on that. I don't know why, but squeegee down the extra, pulling it up, putting it back in the jar. It's nice and smooth, looks pretty good. And let's have lift off. Looks cool. Alright, fold this in on itself and lay it in my pan of water, or take it to the sink, hold it under the water and just rub this back and forth and get all the chalk off, clean it up, lay it sticky side up, let it dry, and put it back on your backer sheet so you can reuse it. Got too many towels on my lap. Alright, this looks really cool. I don't know if you can see the detail, but you see the pattern in the back. And then the white and cream kind of blended together. You probably can't see the detail too well on this camera, but when I photograph it, hopefully we can show that better. And then the blending of the colors on the flowers. So just gives it a little bit more character, a little more thought involved in it when you blend in the colors. And when you create a unique negative space or your background space, makes it look really cool. So let's dry this, and I'm actually going to rub on some wax and hopefully you can see all the uniqueness about it, right? So while that kind of dries, I'm just going to put my paste away, and then if you want to watch me wax it, and we'll be done. Trying to get all the crusties off the side of the jar. And then put them down into the rest of the paste with some water so they can hydrate back out and become workable chalk again. Put all our squeegees in the water. Whoop. All right, any questions? Note to self, get more white chalk paste. I don't know if I have any on hand. But there's not much there. And not much at all. All right, one more. All right. I'm probably going to dry that just to make sure it's nice and dry, just a little bit, and then I'll apply my wax and it'll be done. I mean, it's pretty cool. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. That paste isn't quite dry. You can see it shiny. This almost doesn't need any antique wax because it just already looks so worn and antique already. I might just put the clear wax on it. I don't know, because the shading of going from white and almond gives it that, I don't know, you probably can't tell on this camera, but it already gives it that aged look, so it's pretty cool. But I love it, and you can see the pattern in the background. I mean, why just chalk on this plain when you can do this? That's pretty cool. Just a little paint and a little time. That's all it takes. Well, I'm going to pull out my Min Wax finishing wax paste in the special dark. I believe they only make it in one color, the special dark, or in the natural, which is no dye in it. But maybe there's other colors. I don't know. But let's open it up. Pull out my new rag. I've only used it a few times. It's already getting a hole in it. And we'll just rub some of this. It just kind of finishes off, brings out the color a little bit more. The wax does, and kind of smooths everything down a little bit. And it just finishes it, which is why it's called finishing wax paste. It'll harden the surface, so it'll harden that chalk paste and protect it even more. You can't do this with a Cricut or vinyl cut. Nope. That's cool. Love it when a plan comes together. Or an idea. Really nice. Really nice. Cricut schmicket. That's right. You cannot get the detail like this with cutting vinyl. And I have a Cricut. It's right there. And I like to use it for certain things, but I don't use it very often. Not for sign making. So cool. I'll have to take a really good photograph of this so you guys can see it better. But that turned out pretty cool. Hope you can see the pattern on it. It's hard to get the light on it just right, but that turned out pretty neat. Give it a try, guys. Chalk Couture's palette board. Such a good quality. Nice solid piece. And this is a beautiful transfer. Cool. Well, thanks for chalking with me today. Have a great rest of your day. Maybe I'll get on tomorrow. I'm still trying to come up with another bandana themed piece. I can use the rest of my, or some more of my bandana fabric, but I'll think of that in the next 24 hours. So we'll see you all. Have a great day, and I will chalk with you later. Bye-bye.